And we are live. So how are we
Go,
all doing
boys.
today? Thank you guys for coming on to my channel, but we've been talking about this for about a month now. So
Yeah.
yeah, very excited to have everybody on. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Just relaxing today.
Nice.
All the fun shit still.
Yeah, right on. Very good. What's going on, Zebra?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's hanging out. And then Mr. MechBeard.
Long day. It's been a crazy day, especially at work.
Has it? Yeah, what's going on?
Just, I run a department at a dealership, a parts department, and we get a lot of crazy jobs, so sometimes it's pretty hectic.
What's going on there? What's going on, Faithful?
Yeah, there's Faithful. Awesome. Tyson's awesome. So, and then we have Mr. Bearded Life in house.
What's going
on? How are
brother?
you? You have some big stuff coming on, I know. So I'm excited to hear what's going on in your world. I know I don't see your daughter with us today, though.
No, she's actually downstairs hanging out with her cousin right now.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Kid time,
Yeah.
We got a 2-year-old in the house, and she's his favorite person. So when he wants her, he wins. That's that.
Yep. I totally hear you. Yeah, that's totally cool. So Andy the bearded practitioner, Andy, went to the barber today because his wife was saying that he looked mangy. And so, and she sleeps in my bed, so I have to do something. So I went down and I've actually been to this guy before and their barber shop. So I said, my wife wants me to shape my beard. I need to make it look a little bit more presentable. I have a live stream tonight. And I guess when I said a little bit shorter, he took it as I'm going to take the whole thing off almost.
Oh, man.
And I think I lost. I think this is about the same beard that I had when I first started growing like almost a year ago.
You just said my biggest fear right now, we're going to a barber. I'm like terrified to go to one.
Yeah, this is exactly, and I'm now gonna. I'm gonna rock it. I'm gonna go the biotin route. I'm gonna start doing some stuff the stuff that I should have been doing when I first started out.
Yeah.
So biotin, doing the pills to help me out, for multivitamins, maybe drinking more water. So I got a lot of time on my hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
hopefully
maybe
my
you
wife
thought
likes a little bit. Go ahead.
Maybe he thought you meant you went a little bit short.
Yeah, I think that's what he must have taken it as, because he definitely took it short. And I think you got to make your wife happy too, so she'll be hopefully happy.
The same thing happened to my brother twice. He went to the barber twice, told him both times, just clean it up a little bit, just clean it up. Both times he just took him right back down to like the beginning. I'm like, What are you doing, dude? We have a beard channel. Stop shaving off your beard.
That's what I said. My wife's like, hey, are you going to actually have a beard channel now? Because you don't have much of a beard. I'm like, well, it's a short beard now. And now I just get to enjoy. All the guys. So Bearded Motivation. So Dave, also Barbardo Joe shaved his off. I think there was 2 or 3 other people that did. And so I said, well, I guess I'm just following trends to go with whatever.
Well, Joe actually brought up some good points though when he shaved his. He said he wanted to start kind of like you said, doing it the right way this time, using the biotin and things like that, using the oils from the beginning and trying to grow it in the right way all the way from the beginning.
Right.
So
yeah, and I'm gonna so my sides have always been the ones that never grow in. So I'm gonna do the derma roll on the sides here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm old, so I should have had all that growth already in. So it may be just the way my beard is, but yeah, we'll see. We'll try the derma roll though. I know that. I think Dave, or have you guys seen that? Somebody was trying it. I think it was maybe Jester. Maybe Jester was.
I think Dave tried it too at one point.
Yeah, and I don't think that I never saw anything come out of it. Like, hey, it didn't do anything, or what happened to the derma roll challenge? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
just
I think Motivation tried quite a few things, actually. I think he was trying the Dermarol and quite a few things that he just wasn't really happy with the results.
yeah, and that's what I think that it just comes down to, I guess I just got to be mindful and just let it grow and let it sit and be happy with where it's at, right?
Just rock with what you got.
That's
right,
man.
Yeah. So what's going on with everybody else? That was my crazy afternoon. Plus, I'm an IT engineer, and that is never a dull moment. So never ever. Listen, in mechanical, I don't care what you do when you're doing stuff with in that sphere of having to think. It is crazy and it is busy. So, what's going on with all you guys?
Just getting ready for the move, man. Packing up house.
Nice, Ryan. So what's going on? So where are you moving to?
Going to Oregon.
What?
Yeah. Hopefully sometime next month.
Yeah, are you moving to Oregon?
Yeah.
Like moving? Wow, I didn't know. So just to let you guys know, he lives like about an hour away from me.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah, so he lives in a place called Prescott Valley.
Yep.
And I've been up there a million times. I have family that lives up there. So, and we have never met. So before he leaves, I guess I'm going to have to make sure that we meet up.
Absolutely. I actually used to live in Phoenix, Arizona.
Did you? Where at?
I don't know. I was a young lad, and it was on the main road. I remember like you had city on this side, and then on the other side, it was just desolate desert.
Yeah, that's a lot of crazy Phoenix. And you know what the interesting thing is, the last 20 years, people wouldn't recognize it. It's not the same town I grew up in.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy big.
It is not the same town from 10 years ago.
Well, even Prescott Valley. I mean, you think about, so Prescott Valley was like the outskirts of Prescott, Prescott used to be the territorial capital of Arizona at one point, like in the early 1900s, late 1800s. And then they moved it down to Phoenix. And then so Prescott was there forever, and Prescott Valley was just like some shops along the way to Prescott. And now there's something like 200,000 people there.
Oh, wow.
And that's only in the last 10, 15 years. Yeah, it's grown. It has like a mall there now. It's crazy.
Well, it seems like growth all over the place is just blowing up.
Yeah. Well, that's Arizona. I was talking to the butcher of my hair today. He said that Arizona,
the butcher of the beard.
That's right. So he told me that Phoenix and Vegas are the two hot spots for growth, and it has been like that for a while. But yeah, it's crazy.
If you had an Instagram name, would it be the Beard Butcher?
Yeah, that's what it is. You show up and there he is. There's the guy. He has his little happy hat. I'm from. He's got his scissors in hands. He's right there.
You know what's crazy is
my beard is actually wincing in pain right now. Like, I'm gonna stop.
I know. Go ahead, Zebra.
What's crazy is Mac only lives like 45 minutes away from me. So.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. See, and that's what. So you guys, and that was what I thought I had there for a second. I thought I had I had Ryan. You know, he's like just up the road. We got the Brotherhood of Arizonans, the Zonies, and because I know that Bearded Life, you do yours with your brother.
Yes, sir.
And then you two, and then Mech and Zebra both live 45 minutes. And you guys are living where exactly in this?
I live on the edge of like Ohio and Indiana line, and he lives over, 45 minutes away from me.
I'm in Fort Wayne.
Oh, Indiana. Nice. So my family is from Vincennes, so it's southwest Indiana.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's where my whole family started. That's where my granddad's from. So awesome. He was growing right up on that Illinois-Indiana border. Yeah, it's good times. I enjoy the Midwest quite a bit. I lived there for about 4 years growing up, so loved it.
Yeah, it's good land. It's good land for sure.
It is. I miss I lived in Missouri for about 4, and then I lived in Illinois, which is where my stepdad's from, and I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, just rolling hills. I miss the seasons. Arizona, as you well know, Ryan, there's not, well, except for Prescott has a little bit of seasons.
Man. We got snow the other day, and then it was gone.
Yeah, that's the Western snow. Like everywhere, it'll snow like crazy. You'll get 6, 7 inches, and then it'll be gone in a couple days. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, never cold enough to stick for very long. Where are you living at, Mr. Bearded Life?
I live in New Jersey.
Jersey. I knew the accent. I was like, it was either Jersey or New York.
Got a Jersey boy here.
Yeah, right on.
It's pretty cold over here right now. Actually, we're down in like I think about 8 to 7 degrees at the moment.
Wow.
Oh, goodness.
It's cold. We're getting ready for snow tomorrow. It's pretty bad right now. But I don't. My whole family's downstairs complaining. I'm good. I like the cold weather. I'm not a hot weather guy at all. I can't do that stuff.
Yeah,
Man, it was nice and warm.
It should be getting some snow like overnight tonight. I think they was calling for a bunch of snow.
Oh, it's dumping right now.
Nice. It was 70 degrees today.
Nice.
I was like, oh, I had a Cardinals like a hoodie on, and I'm like, hey, it's time to go out, and my wife's like, you don't need that today.
Not today.
And mind you, it's a hoodie. It's a thin hoodie, so that's the
Right,
Arizona. Right. Like, oh, it's so. But there are people, as Ryan knows, he knows that these people are like. There's people that will wear like Arctic jackets in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's crazy here. I mean, it's just because it is 110 during the summer. So anything that's lower than 70 is pretty chilly here.
All right, but I gotta ask one thing. I talked to people from Arizona before, and they tell me, yeah, it's like 110, but it's dry heat, so it's not a big deal. What in the world does that mean? It's still 110 degrees. What's the difference?
Yeah, so it's the non-humidity. So it is not. So you don't. You know how you sit in the east, it's gonna stick on you.
Yeah.
It doesn't take off. In here, it evaporates. Like the sweat actually kind of cools you off here. It's not going to stick on you. It's not going to be just muggy and making you feel bad. Right, Ryan? Yeah, and we don't. I mean, the only thing here's how I look at it. I don't have to shovel sunshine.
Nice.
I don't miss the snow. I lived in Flag for a little bit, and there was a little bit of snow there, and I don't miss it. I don't miss the Midwest snowstorms where you're like iced in or snowed in for a couple days. I don't miss that. I wouldn't miss it. Yeah, in Arizona, you just have to have oven mitts for the steering wheel.
You can cook it on the blacktop.
Yeah. So what else? So what are we reviewing? So I have a really cool. Now I have to blame you guys because I got all of this miner's beard going on, and I have yet to do the unboxing, and I'm really excited about it.
Awesome.
But I had sat on them for a while. I had talked to them early on, and then I kind of sat on them for a little bit. But I'll tell you that I'm excited, especially that Covenant. I'm really into the frankincense and myrrh, and then you add oud to it.
You're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. The Covenant's one I need to get my hands on. Bad. Like it definitely needs to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a really awesome one. I'm loving that one.
That and the double barrel moonshine. 2 really, really nice scents.
Yeah, and I got the newer releases that he just came out with that had some sort of alcohol, like single barrel something.
The West Virginia Spitfire bourbon?
Yep, that's the one. Yep, I have that one because I won that one on your guys' giveaway.
Yep.
And then I got, and because I'm good friends with Joe, I had to get a butter and Joe's scent, so.
And my wife's saying, let's move to Arizona.
Well, we'll be happy to have you.
Preston isn't a bad area, though, because you don't have the heat of Phoenix and you don't have the cold of Flagstaff, so.
Yeah. And you don't have and now Prescott Valley now has all that traffic, too, so it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to. So Prescott is our pub. So every March, me and my wife go up there and do a pub crawl. Have you ever done that, Ryan? The St. Patrick Day pub crawl up there on Whiskey Row?
Once. Maybe I can't remember the second time. I don't know.
So me and my wife, we made it up there. So Prescott has just a bunch of bars, and it's not a college town. It just has what they call Whiskey Row, which is the original Western-y. Like, this is the saloons that actually existed during like the 1880s.
Oh, wow.
And so you can walk in and they all look, some of them have been refurbished a little bit, but you can walk into like a place called Matt's Saloon or the Palace Saloon, and it looks exactly like it did, 100 years ago, 120 years ago.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So it's like a revived ghost town?
It is. That's why Prescott has a huge main downtown area where they do a huge, beautiful courthouse that used to be the territorial capital. And then all these like hotels and Western-y kind of, not as bad as Tombstone. Tombstone is like the town that really is too tough to die. It looks exactly like Tombstone did like 150 years ago. But
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah,
That would be really cool to experience.
That's awesome.
yeah, it's a fun place. And then we do the pub crawl. So there's like 30 bars there. And you start off at one and you get your little stamp, and then at the end you get like a T-shirt or something that's saying that you're too stupid to do this. You're stupid to do this, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Like
Yeah.
you'd be crawling the next day.
Yeah, me and my wife, we start doing that. We always eat at like Gurley's Pub. There's a place that has really good food called Gurley's, and we always eat there for dinner, and then that's kind of like our midpoint, and then we just keep going.
Do they have girly drinks there too?
No, it's Gurley, but it's like the name of a guy. But yeah, it is. Well, it could have girly drinks too. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what the miners I'm really excited about. I'm just finishing Bartelli's. Have you guys ever heard of that group or of him? Or
when you
Bartels,
mentioned
but
it-
not Bertelli's.
Yeah, so it's this British company that sent me oil that was like 27 pounds, which is like $40. $40.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
smells
wow.
like it has cinnamon and vanilla. It's not a bad oil, but it is not American. So Americans are all about the scent and long-lasting scent. This honestly disappears. The scent it smells like really great in the bottle, but as soon as you put it in beard, even this short beard, I put in a little bit just before I came in, gone. Can't even smell it.
What's going on there, Joe?
Yeah, the bad thing about
I
like,
can't
most
see
of
the chat, so if
places-
somebody's talking to me, I'm sorry. Hi.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
The bad thing about like most places overseas is they're like limited onto what they can actually put in their oils. So, like as far as fragrance wise and stuff like that, they have like a restriction, so they can't add as much as they can, like we can over here in the States.
Right, and that's what so actually somebody told me that same thing, because EU, which is the European Union people, or that's exactly what they told me, and I was like, well, that's really interesting. I also thought I used to live in Britain, so I always thought it's kind of like their food.
Yeah, here we have
Oh,
like
no.
guidelines. Here we have like guidelines, that you should follow, but we don't have that restriction as far as like state laws and stuff, or country laws or whatever that you have to abide by.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing is that I think it's probably better for you. We always hit that, so that's a good reviewer's point. So, and I know that we all have maybe some different points of view on this. So what is your guys' point of view on putting more labeling about the ingredients in the bottles and bombs and things in the products that we have? I know that there's like a huge amount of debate. We don't have to get into like the politics of it, but what do you guys think?
I'm big on knowing what's in your products. I am. So I think the more information a company can give you about what you're buying and what is going in your skin, I mean, that's just the reality. This stuff is going on your body, in your skin. So the more information, the better, really, to me.
I definitely agree with
I
that.
totally agree with that, though.
To be able to know that
Throwing
information.
the ingredients in there.
Like ingredients.
Somewhere on the way.
Like ingredients as far as like what, like the carrier blend, or like what are you talking about?
Probably
So,
all ingredients in general.
Right, all ingredients.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't have to, maybe the percent of, but you know that this is using, and so that's the tricky part. So you don't want to give away your secret sauce. This is my fragrance oil. But, you know, there's some people that say they should disclose what kind of fragrance oil they're using, or essential oil. There are also other people that say that you need to be strictly telling how much of that oil. Maybe you don't say, hey, this is this essential oil, but you say how much of it by volume you have in your bottle.
Like the percentage?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I can understand like the percentage of it, but like the whole detail. Well, essential I think would be important to put what kind of essential on it, because that is definitely different than fragrance. And there are some essentials like that don't agree with me, especially pure peppermint essential oil, because I have a hiatal hernia and that upsets that. So essential oils can be dangerous, as far as, you know, but fragrance oils are a whole different story because it's just fragrance.
Yep. And Bearded Blondie makes a good point for allergies. For anybody that would have an allergy to something, you know, it's good to have those labeled on there as well.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Most websites you go on, if you're looking up the product, the ingredients are all usually listed on the website, but not everybody always takes the time out to read everything. I just think putting the stuff on the bottle, it also, it covers the company. You know what I mean? Like they can say, hey, we listed everything. It's not our fault you didn't go ahead and read it or something. If it was an allergy or something like that, they're covered at that point.
Yeah, little CYA.
Website for ingredients. I usually just look at the scent. That looks good. Into the cart it goes.
I think it's most of us, we just attack, you know, the scents, you know, we're like, hey, that looks good.
Although I don't really have an allergy to anything, so I guess I'm a lot less conscious.
Right. Well, I can tell you that, and I'm not going to say what company this was, but I recently had a allergic reaction to somebody's oil, and it is miserable. It is a miserable experience. I had this oil I put, it made my entire neck red. It like I could feel it burning on my skin, and it was like I didn't realize what it was. I thought it was just like tingly. You know, I'm always thinking of King Tingle. So I'm like, oh, it's tingling. Oh, that's, you know, it's kind of like Ruddy Man stuff. And so then I go and I check it out, and my son's like, your neck isn't completely red. And I was like, and it didn't go away for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, like cinnamon, you have to be careful with, because I mean that one obviously should be, you know, used in moderation. Whether what company you use, cinnamon has to be one of those things where it's moderate. Otherwise, you're going to get that burn. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm having a reaction. You know, but then you gotta let it fade. But that and mints, you have to be careful with.
Yeah, well, I found, you know, the other one is before I got into beard oils, I was into essential oils because I meditate, of course. So I was into just doing some of that, and I got into the homeopathic stuff, and I used oregano oil. Something required like oregano is like an antibacterial, antifungal thing or something, and that burned the hell out of my skin. There's a totally reason why you need carrier oils. It will, if you just put direct essential oils on your skin, it will burn you. Especially mint, and that oregano oil was completely on fire. Like, it was painful.
It's so acidic, though, isn't it?
Say that again?
I said it's because it's so acidic, though, right?
That's exactly it. Yep.
Yeah.
That acidity burns your skin, right? Because it's not balanced with anything, and that's what the carrier oils do. Is they provide that balance on the other side to help provide the base.
Right.
And just like Caleb says, not a lot of people do it, but he said that is also covered under the test on a small part of your skin before full use. Not a lot of us pay attention to that either.
No, you just want to dive in, right? You smell it. You're like, hey, let's put this in. And Caleb's absolutely right. Caleb's absolutely.
I think some of us fall into the whole like, oh, especially like reviewers, we're like, oh, we've tested hundreds of product at this point. I don't need to put it on the wrist anymore. I can just throw it straight in and I'll be fine. But you're right. If you've ever, I had that experience with one of the first companies I ever worked with, and it's not fun. You definitely want to check everything before you put it in your beard, because
Definitely.
it's not fun to have the reaction, and it's just not a nice experience at all.
No, it's really kind of interesting because you're right. Because I have literally, I think we all have been. I don't. How long have you guys been doing? I've been doing this almost a year now, and it's like you said, hundreds of bottles, and I have not ever had a reaction up until like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
No, I had one with one of the first companies I ever worked with, unfortunately, and I'm not going to put it out there, but they were a very small batch, and I really wanted to like help. I was like, man, this will be cool if I can, and it just all went bad, just really bad, unfortunately, because they were awesome people too. So it was just a bad experience all around.
You know, part of what a reviewer is, though, is you get that. You don't want to go to, you know, I mean, it sucks that you had to endure that, but it didn't go into full public.
So how do you guys feel about that? So we're reviewers. If you get bad product, what do you do with it? If you got something bad, will you actually present it out there to the public that, hey, I ordered this and it went bad? Or will you just keep it to the owner and you know, I got this product and I'm just going to keep it with the owner? What is your guys' experience with that?
I think it kind of depends on what you guys agreed upon before getting to that point, you know?
I generally will at least let the company know what's coming at the very least. Like, I'll let them know, hey, listen, this really didn't work out the way we had hoped. I'll let them know what the situation is. And in all fairness, in reality, most of the companies that I've worked with, when there has been a negative situation, they want me to put it out there. They want to hear it because they think they can fix whatever the problem was and they can handle it.
Very good.
Like, I've talked to companies and stuff, and then, you know, I'm good with talking with them, and I'm like, hey, you know, if I have a problem with it, I'll come to you first before, you know, even trying to throw it out there for everybody to see, you know, because I'm not the type of person, you know, to spread negativity. I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, this is crap or whatever, you know, and it doesn't look good on anybody.
Well, I think that's part of it too, though. There is a way that you can word things as a reviewer the proper way. We don't have to get on and say, hey, look at this product. You know, this is complete trash. No, we can go on and have a negative opinion of something, sure, but we can still say it in the proper way with respect towards that company.
Right. And like I said, it's just proper etiquette, you know, try to get a hold of the company first, you know, and then proceed with it.
Yeah, there could have been a reason why that particular batch that you had received to test out could have been, you know, maybe that particular batch that they made, something went wrong.
Yeah. And you know what? I saw a company the other day, and I think it was, man, I can't remember if it was Tailored or somebody like that, that somebody got, he had noticed that it was an older bottle, and then
that was me.
Was that you?
That was me with Royal Beardsman. Hold on. I'll get it for you right now. 2 seconds.
Cool. So this is an amazing story, and I had a really high opinion after I saw this of this company.
All right. Sorry about that. I didn't want to rip the phone off the thing. So yeah, I ordered from Royal Beardsman. I had an Amazon gift card. And I went on Amazon and saw that they were there, and I ordered from them. But when it came, it had a packing slips from pipes and tobaccos, right? So I messaged Royal Beardsman and I said to them, listen, I'm just checking to make sure this is all legit, right? So they got back in touch with me and they said that this was a distributor they worked with back when they first got started, right? So if you look, actually, like the bottle's just a little bit old and beat up, and like he said, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. It should be fine. But he wasn't too thrilled with the idea of me reviewing a product that could have been 2 to 3 years old at this point. So he took it upon himself to send me out fresh product, and you kind of got to give him a lot of credit. Like, that's great customer service, really. Like,
Absolutely.
he jumped on it real quick.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I have, so that's my opinion of small batches. That's the reason why I interview them. That's why I like getting them involved with my YouTube channel. I think that you guys are feeling the same way, which is why we love small batch. Is for that exact reason, is because of that customer service. I work in I'm going to say this again, and my wife hates when I say this. I work for a big company, and I don't ever have that interaction with anybody. I haven't had that interaction with customers in years and years, and it's sad because but this is the part that I really enjoy. I think this is what America is based off of. These local businesses, small batch, where people put pride into their products, and that's exactly a good example of somebody who had pride in product.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. He jumped on it real quick and wanted to make sure that if a review was getting put out about his product, that it was a current and up-to-date product, and it was going to be the best product he could possibly get out to me. So, and you're not going to get that with a bigger company. A bigger company would have just said, hey, whatever, you'll deal with it.
Right.
Yeah,
go ahead, Zebra.
I was reading a comment, and Caleb said that he had his first customer that had a reaction this week. Actually, he said narrowed it down to the arrowroot powder and the butter, so he mixed him a batch without the arrowroot and sent it to him. You know, that's what you can get with the small batch companies. That, you know, the bigger companies, you can't do that.
Right.
Right. And that's, so I've dealt with at least three or four different companies that will actually, if you say something, and I think most companies will do this, but Hummingbeard last night was a key morning mist soap company. They're another one that they will make custom orders for you. They actually want you to custom order something, and then they'll make it for you right there. And I'm always impressed with that type of customer service, that you're that keyed into your customers, and you realize that that's so important to have that link. That and we'll tell, like, this is a really good opportunity for Royal Beardsman to say, hey, I did it right. I did the right thing. And we're giving him publicity because he did the right thing.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, like, even when he sent me the new stuff, you know, his bomb container is completely different now. The oil bottle, the label, it's all just a little bit brighter, a little bit better looking at this point. So, like, it was just little things, but it was very cool to me that he jumped on it like that and was like, no, we're going to make this right. And I'm going to make sure that you get the product you paid for. And that's what you get with small batch to me. And that's why I support all the small batch companies in the beard world. They know that. Awesome. Anything they need, I'm there.
Right. And I think me and you, Beard Life, we both have that mentality that we like to kind of find the unknown guys.
Yep.
I've been trying. That's me and Barbado Joe's kind of thing too.
I didn't know this until he told me later on, but I was actually the first person to ever review Jolly Old Fat Man, which is why me and him have the relationship we have now. Like, Bam is an amazing person. We reviewed him back when he was just still working with Santa Clauses, basically. And we said it back then, that bomb was going to take over. We told everyone it was going to happen. And here he is now. And now he's done something for my daughter that was amazing. I don't know if you guys saw that or not yet.
I think I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
That was awesome with the queen.
This right here.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yep.
Sammy Cakes, Queen of the Beards.
That's Bam right there. He's a good dude. He's a really good dude. So I had him on an interview early on. I hadn't really even had his products yet. I just really liked him.
Yes, he's an amazing individual.
Yeah, I just really liked him, and I said, you know what? And he saw me on a live stream with my son, and we were opening him Premium Beard by W&B. And he saw it, it was Morning Mist. And my son said something funny, and he sent out something like, I think he sent out a custom label one that was Caden's Kitchen, or Caden's, something like that. Caden's Kitchen, I think. But totally awesome. Totally awesome. And the customer service, and that was like, so now I'm about ready to kick off his review next week. So I finally got some product from him that I feel like we can do some, and I did an unboxing like a week ago with his stuff. So I'm going to kick off his review and test this week.
Right on. So here's a question for you guys. What do you guys think about all these companies coming out? Seems like every time you blink, there's 3 new companies.
Any industry that starts to see a product that's making a profit, like the beard world is right now. The beard world is turning a profit. That's just the reality. A lot of small companies out there are making, I'm not going to say they're making a fortune, but they're making money. So now you got a lot of these bigger companies and even more small companies thinking, hey, we need to get into that. We need to get a piece of the pie real quick before there is none left to get. So it's going to happen.
Now, do you guys think this is just a fad? It'll drop off, or do you think this will continue on?
I don't think it's a fad, but I think we will start weeding companies out eventually. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah. Anything else, you know?
Yeah.
I think it'll keep going because, like Rob said, I think yesterday, he said that reviews are going to get harder because there's just so much more coming up, and there's so many choices, and not everybody's, it's not done yet.
Yeah, so I always take a look at it as like LA. There's about 2 actors that leave every month and 1 actor that comes in. It's just going to be always like that. There's going to be a flux. I think that there's going to be big companies, just like I've met YouKnowBearded, I've met some of the bigger boys, and super good guys. I think Miners is on the cusp of really being big. They have really good product. I love their labeling, and I think that they're the next big thing. One of the next big things, like Fable.
They have like a big batch mindset. That's why they're not thinking small. They're thinking, how can we take this and launch?
Absolutely.
And get as big as possible.
That's right.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing. They know how to create, and they also have been meeting up with reviewers that could help take them to that next level. I think it's an excellent idea. And I've said that's a business idea. That's a really, how do you get to the next level is to not be here in 5 years, not thinking the same way. You have to think, how can I produce this at a bigger scale, still be considered small batch maybe, or at least being tested in the lab with the same ingredients or whatever you're going to do, but thinking bigger and being able to mass produce it.
When do you stop being small batch?
I think that's a debatable.
Yeah.
Very debatable.
Yeah, I know some companies out there that I will not name that they do all of their stuff in labs. They produce their stuff, they test, they do QA in their own system, but they're making their stuff in a lab. And
right.
they're really great products. And I know several companies that do that, which is smart business, because that's how you grow, because then you can just be able to leverage that processing to a bigger level, and then you'll be able to produce hundreds versus 10, right?
See, I don't mind those larger companies either. You get those companies that test in a lab, and you're getting quality product because they've tested it over and over and over for cents or this and that, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that gets to the point to where and you bring up a good point, because then you get to what Dan's doing. So Dan is working with a big company, and now he's going to be putting it all in the big box stores. Are you considered, and Dan has had a lot, we all know Dan, he's had a lot of say in the product, but is that going to be something, would you consider that big batch? And I know that debate has been on for a while. That's been always kind of interesting.
I think if it was anybody else, they would consider it big batch. But because Dan, he's probably going to get a pass on that one. The community loves Dan C, and they'll probably give him a pass on that one. So, but yeah. If it was anything else, if it's in a Walmart or something, people are going to consider it big batch. Like, that's just the way people are going to look at things.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
And Mountaineer brand was the same way. So they were in every Walmart. I still consider them almost a small batch because their mentality, and something happened because I don't see them anymore. I don't know what happened to their Walmart deal, but I don't see them in any Walmarts here. But Honest Amish is another company that everybody's probably tried at some point. Are they considered small batch, or we just say, hey, they're probably big batch? And
big batch for sure.
I think they've upgraded by this point, because I don't think there's a person with a beard that hasn't heard of Honest Amish. Almost all of us started with Amish. That's how I got started.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
I think
yeah, see, almost all of us got started with Honest Amish. Like, that's just the way it almost seems to go.
And honest, that's good stuff.
Absolutely. It's almost like a gateway drug, if you will. It gets you in, you know what I mean? And then you're screwed because after that, you're just going down the rabbit hole, and that's that. So.
And so when I talk, I'm pretty good friends with Dan, and that's exactly what his point is with what he's doing with his project, is that he's getting people to get excited about beard oil and miss out on the other bigger box companies that don't have a clue of how to make beard oil. He's going to have this offering that's going to be able to get you into the bearded world and say, wow, this really smells great. This is good for me. And then I can go into that rabbit hole, which we all went down.
So I have a question for you guys here. Have any of you guys tried the Beard brand from Target?
No.
I have.
Have you?
I've played with it at the store, but I haven't bought any.
Yeah. I did not like it at all. Although I haven't tried their other stuff, but like if you were at the store looking for something, I don't know if I could.
No, but I mean, Dan makes a really good. I mean, listen, I've talked to Dan about it a few times. We've kind of made a mutual friendship over our families, things like that. He actually sent my daughter out a T-shirt for Christmas, which was really cool. She loves them.
That's cool.
You know, but we had more than one conversation about it, and he makes a lot of sense. Like, we've all been in the store and seen beard products, and that's where most of us got at least our curiosity peaked. But more than half of us probably had a bad experience to start because we grabbed something off the shelf that was terrible. If he can find a way to put something on the shelf that's a good quality product, that's good for you, smells good, all it's going to do is attract more people into this community and show them all these amazing companies that are out there.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Yeah, completely. And I think that's exactly what Dan's point is. And that's what there's always a little bit of bearded drama, and I try to really stay clear of it. When I first got into the bearded community, you kind of get into sides, you think, oh, well, I don't believe whatever. I realized just stay out of it, especially as a reviewer. And I've had several talks with several people about just staying the heck out of the bearded drama that shows up every 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because it will take you down, it can. But
yeah.
It's just not worth it. It's just really not worth it. I just keep positive and say, you know what, it's silly to argue about this.
Yep. Completely.
But I believe that's the biggest thing is that that's the big. If you knew that this is what will help us out actually as reviewers. I know so many guys I work with that have beards that have never tried product because their experience was going and trying Beard brand, which is okay. I actually have not had any problems with Beard brand. It's a good entry level for me. It smells like sawdust. If you don't mind sawdust, you're okay. Because that's exactly what they're looking for. They were, they're kind of an interesting company because they build like if you get their silver, they add the sawdust goes away and now it's like it smells like a forest. And then if you go one step up from that, their gold brand, it's another level of good smell.
I think their line didn't do them any justice though in Target. Because if you were to try Beard brand in store, you'd be like, I don't know if I'd really like trying their other stuff, Because
but you bring up an interesting point there because people say that the Honest Amish from the store is not as good as the one you get online. Right. And I mean, people swear to that, like they swear on it.
I've heard that same thing. I don't remember who it was. Was it one of you guys that had a person that said they had tried this and they said it was completely a different product?
I had a few people tell me that. Yeah, I mean, I think me and Ryan were talking about it the other night when we were in the live, although our live went a little bit wonky, but still. When we were still talking about beards, I think that came up for a minute.
But I've liked my first beard product was I went to Target. I got the Beard brand beard balm because I didn't know what it was, and then I got Duke Cannon, which is that kind of that orangey, like a Moroccan spice type of smell.
Like the damn best
beard that giant bottle. Giant bottle, yeah.
Which it wasn't really bad, and if I mixed it with the sawdust, it actually both made kind of them okay.
Yeah, what's weird is like when I first started, I ordered some
We all
samples
make bad
from
purchases, okay? All of
yeah.
us. We all make bad purchases.
I ordered some samples from a place, and then I kind of got discouraged because it didn't work out for me. But then after that, I think the first purchase after that, like full purchase, was MechBeard, and I've been with them like ever since.
Well, they're a good company, and it's sometimes you luck out. So I started watching Dan. So everybody's probably watched Dan. That was like their beginning YouTube channel. Once I caught Dan, I was hooked. I was like, what is this stuff? And then I started watching more and more of Dan, and he has all those tips that are amazing. And so he got me into Beard Octane, and that was my second purchase, and didn't look back. After I found Beard Octane, I haven't bought a ton of Beard Octane since. I bought it a couple times, but man, I'll tell you, it's been a nice ride, because once I got that, I said, there are amazing companies out there. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So have you guys figured out what oils have worked best for your beards?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you guys found out like what oils work best for your beards?
Yeah, it's an area that me and Dan C disagree upon. I like thicker oils. Thick oils work well for me, and I know Dan doesn't love them. And right. I know the most of the time what Dan C says in the beard world is like, it's like cast in stone. That's it. That's the way it is. But I've just kind of gone on and told everyone, listen, everybody's beard is different. My beard loves thicker oils. I've had my best feeling days when I use a thicker product. That's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you like jojoba or vitamin E? Which oils work best for you guys?
Hemp seed, vitamin E. Hemp seed, vitamin E, and there's one other one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But both of those two are really great.
Jojoba oil and almond oil is good to me.
Yeah, I think I'm a big hemp. I think that's my number one right now. I think I've actually tried one with CBD, which is same family. Those two were probably the best. And then I think Barden has whatever his mix is. Barden, I have not had. I've tried a ton of product. He is, in my opinion, the gold standard in beard oil game. He's like, if you can compare everything to that, because it's so good. It's good for your beard.
I have a question.
Who has a question?
I do. Has anyone tried that new one that people are using, that emu oil? Has anyone here used that yet?
Yeah, that's in something. I think it's in something I have. I can't remember what though, but I think it's in something I have.
I know. I was trying to think that I have it in something I just recently opened, and I can't remember who it is. But
isn't that in Brocaz?
I think it is. I think
it's in Brocaz. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I didn't read the ingredients, but I think
if that's in Brocaz, then it's fantastic, because Brocaz is one of the best feeling beards I've ever had. Like, it really feels amazing to me. So if it's in Brocaz, it's good with me.
Right.
Yeah, like Caleb said, Meadow Foam is another good one.
Yeah. I've had a few with Meadow Foam in it, yeah.
I'll tell you who has some weird products and this is surprising, that Barn Brand, Tex. He's a mixologist. That dude has his stuff together, and he's come up with some really good carrier oils that I'm just like.
I've gotten a ton of stuff from Tex. I mean, me and Tex are very good friends at this point. He kind of helped us along when we were first getting started and stuff, and he's always had our back, and he has sent me some of the best product I've ever used, hands down. Like his Cantaloupe and Smoke, his Buck series, the Ghost Buck and the Snow Buck, all that stuff is fantastic. And the man, you're right. He has zero fear about throwing things together and seeing what'll come out of it. No fear at all.
Gotta experiment.
Yeah, and he's using some exotic oils, like I think he's one of the first. Moruga oil, tamarind oil. I mean, I'm probably not doing it justice. If Tex was on here, he would probably correct me for sure. But
probably, yeah, definitely.
But he has upped his game, because he was the I saw him on Beard and Banjos when he first came out, like probably about 8-9 months ago. And that was his first interview with anybody. And he was taken off, and I had to go get it because I was so impressed by what he was saying. And then that's when our friendship, I mean, I'm doing a collab with him in the next month or two. We're doing a aromatherapy beard oil.
He knows his stuff. There's no questioning of it. Like, he definitely has a very deep knowledge of the products, and he'll talk to you about it all day long. Like, you can message him and he's always open to talk to you about stuff. He definitely is very passionate about the community as well. And he just really loves what he's doing, and it shows.
Mm-hmm. And he dropped everything to do this. That's the other thing. So he has a lot of background. His soaps are really good too, by the way.
Yes.
So yeah,
he sends my daughter a soap every time he sends me something. Every time he sends her a soap. Doesn't matter if it's the smallest one or a normal size. He just always puts something in the box for her every time.
Yeah. And the cool thing about this, and it gets back to Tex, is Tex also has the ability, and a lot of these other, they're behind the scenes. There's a whole community behind just the beard product guys, and they all collaborate. Tex is involved with, I know he talks to Premium, Sean, who's one of my good friends as well. And I know he talks to, and Sean talks to, and they all help each other. It's
Hugo
awesome
from Man
community.
Cave, and Tex has quite a few of them that he talks to, and he's very on good terms with. But yeah, I like seeing that though. I do. I think there's more than enough out there for these companies to make money on, so I don't really see an issue with them working together. I don't think it's going to hurt anything at all.
No, so, they should come together for sure.
So Cameron brings up a good point here.
Yeah.
Oils is too many oils in a mixture.
How many carrier oils is too many?
It's a good question. It depends on how well it's doing in your beard, right?
Yeah. And it depends on how well the company has blended it as well. That has a lot to do with it. There's companies out there that only use 1 or 2 carrier oils. That's it. And then there's ones that have 6, 7, even 8 in them. But they blended it in such a way that it still feels amazing in the beard. It all just depends on what that company is doing, and honestly, whether they know or don't know what they're doing.
And it depends on your beard as well.
The quality of the oil. Not all oil is
Yeah, you're right.
So
you can get bargain brand oil.
So Tyson said broccoli seed oil.
Tyson, are you just throwing stuff out now? No.
He's like, broccoli seed oil. I'm like, it's the all new best one, the broccoli seed.
Bring on the broccoli.
Broccoli and cheese, black pepper beard oil.
There you go. You're a baked potato.
Yeah. And the wife said smoked sausage in there with it.
And some bacon.
Gotta have bacon.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing is that it's so here's what I was talking to somebody about, and I think it was Andy, and he said that most people, if you go look at the bottles, they're exactly the same carrier oils. Like they're exactly the same. Like they just put maybe the person puts a different fragrance or something, but the base carrier oil is bought from the same companies. And they're just using it, and they take the % off the box and put it back on their bottle. And it's just a mix that they're buying. And I know some companies that don't do that. Hummingbeard was the one that I had on last night that they don't do that. They're using rosehip oil, and she does all of her own research. What do you guys feel about that? Because that's an interesting subject, because not every carrier oil or essential oil is the same.
Like you're talking about, like people using the same exact carrier oils, but
buying a mix, maybe buying off Amazon or some company a big mix bag, as long as it's they just buy it and then they're putting it in their oils and then they mix it, and you don't know behind the scenes. If you say I'm putting this carrier oil in, you have no idea what the quality of that essential or carrier oil is.
Right.
And I don't know I don't even think you could even approach with how you could find out, we're only making premium carrier oils. Anybody could say that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would go about making sure that stuff's being. I guess all you can really do is, stick to the companies that at this point and you trust.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, just for example here, I had one of my first purchases ever with miners. They wouldn't send me a product because they had ordered their carrier oils from someone and they got it and they were just not happy with the quality and they refused to send me the product I had ordered because they felt it wouldn't be up to their normal level. To me, you just got to trust the companies at this point and know that if they're serious about what they're doing, they're not going to send out a substandard product.
Yeah.
Good point.
You got to be able to trust who you're buying your stuff from.
Yeah, which is why I bring that up, because I know people that, so Barden, for instance, knows his growers. He knows some of the product, where he's getting the hemp oil from, and some of the products that he's getting. He knows the actual place where the farm it's coming from. And then there's, if you take a look at Young Living and doTERRA, which is those essential oil brand companies out there that do the marketing, pyramid marketing piece, they have that philosophy. It's from seed to, your oil. So they know the moment that they're the ones who planted it and they're the ones that harvested it. And so and they're expensive, but there's there's also stuff. Somebody's got me on the YouTube.
Sorry about that. Mike wanted me to send the link.
No worries.
I think us, buyers, we're also testers of that as well, as far as the what they use. So we all try to, determine ourselves whether it works or not.
I think definitely keeping it local. If they're buying their ingredients and their products to make this stuff, keeping it local, from wherever they're at, definitely helps to know that you're getting a good quality ingredient.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I know some people that do, like for Arizona, they advertise that they use local beeswax from the different companies in your area. And so I'm always about supporting that as well. But what do you guys think about some guy who just buys the jug off of Amazon and gets the,
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever know.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Especially if when he bought it, it was okay. Like, it was okay for him to use, and we'd probably never know it until we got it. We might say something's like different or something's off, but we'd never really know for sure that something got changed.
Yeah, he wouldn't even know it. The guy that supplied it.
Right.
Looking at.
And that's my point. Yeah. So my point is that's what. So a lot of people get into this business because it's semi-easy to enter. So you just can go buy yourself some carrier oil blend, and then you put some stuff that you got on Pinterest into a blend, and you try that for a little bit. I think that, to everybody's point, that's the pop. You can get in. It's easy to enter, hard to stay in.
I think research and knowledge is key.
And you may know this, the prickly pear cactus oil.
Oh. Yep, that's some
and
good
no one's using it. And I was reading that it was better than argan oil, but it's way more expensive. Now, what are your thoughts on that? You think it's worth sacrificing price for quality, or?
See, that's the interesting thing about the market, right? Is its market will bear what it, and there are some premium oils out there that will go out of their way to go and do that. They'll say, hey, this is $30 oil. It's good stuff though. And you're going to get your premium. You're going to get it. You're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when should companies change their prices? Like, do you think that companies should change their prices when they change their carriers like that?
Absolutely. I think if you're supplying better product, then you have absolutely right to demand a little bit more money in it.
Look, the product you're putting out will ultimately decide what you're going to charge people, because if you're putting more into the product to make it a better product, then you don't have a choice. You have to charge more. Otherwise, you're not making money. At the end of the day, it's a business for these companies. They have to make money. Otherwise, why are they doing it?
I mean,
Correct.
but what if you're still making enough money though, and you want to keep that status, that you have? Like, for instance, some companies only charge like X amount of money, but they're well enough to do with it, but they want to be known as an affordable budget company.
Well, that's the cheap ass beard company, right?
Yeah.
Broke ass. Yeah.
That's that, or broke
Broke
ass.
ass
I'm sorry.
beard company.
It was like something broke, something cheap. But that's their thing, and they're putting emu oil in it, which is high quality oil.
And
So it's
Miners-
not
Well,
cheap.
I mean,
Miners
there's
is
probably
another
two
good
different
one,
schools of thought here. There's the school of thought that you can charge $30 for one bottle and make your money back that way, or you can charge less and sell 10 times as many and make your money that way. So
Well,
there's probably more than one way to do this.
It's
that's like a
marketing,
beer
right?
brand, though. Not necessarily that their quality of oil is any different, but they're one of the first beard oil brands out there, and they charge $30-$40 for oils.
Right.
No.
Unless you get unless you get the sawdust. It's
Like,
like $90.
Listen, I've had some beard oils come through here that are $35, $40 too. Okay, it's not just them. There's other ones out there. I promise you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, like Miner's Beard, they're really affordable, and so I mean, it doesn't, if they change their formula, they can still continue to make that and still be really affordable.
Right.
Miner's Beard is the pinnacle of using really good quality ingredients and having a great price for the product.
I think you're right, and I think that the market will dictate that they will, and especially with the fact that they have I think you get volume, like what Mr. Beard Life is saying, that you have to make that decision. Is it I want to get a lot of volume and I get the sales out of the volume, or am I going to get it out of the one person that buys it for, it's going to be less volume of product going out, but I'm getting more money coming in. It's just as your marketing scheme, really.
Yeah, it's just like, you can go ahead.
It's like a hustler mentality, if you will. Are you going to sell your stuff for, a very high price and make one or two sales at a time, but you're making a ton of money in those one or two sales? Or are you going to drop the price and try to move hundreds of them at a time? It's all about how you want to get it done. It's really up to that company and how they want to do it.
Right. Yeah, it's just like I learned in marketing in college. I mean, like if you're making, if you have a set price, that's a low price, but you're making so many sales, you're making it back in that. So it's just the whole scheme of the thing.
Yeah, and I think Tyson's saying that same thing. That's exactly what his iteration. Yeah.
So that's come up for a little bit now. Is packaging. Do you think packaging is worth the extra $3, $4,
Yes.
$5 on top of the oil already? Like Sphinx.
Completely.
Dude, I've been,
You're paying.
if you watch our channel, I've been preaching it, man. There's so many good companies out there, so many good products out there that you got to find a way to stick out a little bit now to draw in the new customers, because there really is. Everywhere you turn now, there's not just one or two companies popping up all the time. There's one or two companies that are coming along that are really good out of nowhere. So you have to find a way to stick out from the crowd, and packaging and presentation is a huge way to do that. It really does draw the eyes in.
Worth the extra $3, $4, $5 though to most people. You know what I mean?
I think presentation is everything. I think that if you feel like you have a nice presentation.
Is that worth the extra money?
All day long.
All day. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like especially we talked about it. Especially when people are doing box openings, and companies love seeing that presentation matters because it's like right there in your face. So I mean,
the advertisement community and all that has changed. It's all now on social media. Unboxings, all that stuff are huge. I mean, so if you're putting something cool, putting out an awesome package all together, it's going to attract more eyes to the unboxing videos, which ultimately draws in more customers. It's really that simple.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you got a good looking product, it's going to sell itself.
Absolutely.
How many bottles do you think Nicholas Beardworks has sold just because somebody wanted his skull.
Right, right.
Yep.
Like, I mean, knowing nothing else, probably people bought from him just because they wanted a skull. Now it's an amazing product, but that skull drew them in before anything else did.
Absolutely.
That's right, Joe.
Yeah, it's like that tailored when he had that limited on there.
That broke my heart. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Knock it off. That broke my heart. Knock it off right now.
I know.
Broke my heart. I didn't get one. I'm so upset.
I know.
He lives like 45 minutes from me and I didn't get one. How is that possible?
What did you guys think of Bar Lux? So I'm a pretty big Barbu fan, as you guys probably know. I absolutely love Abraham. I've had him on twice. He's a great, great guy. But what did you guys think of the Bar Lux? I thought the build to it was fantastic, but I knew it was all set up. Like, that was very easy to see, especially if you know them and you know their friends. You knew they were on great terms. So there was no way there was a beef here, like none. Okay, and then when they both were on at the same time, and it was like uncomfortable. They were trying to be mean to each other, but it wasn't working. Like, and then they revealed this awesome product, and I literally called my brother that night, and I'm like, dude, I need a favor. And he's like, what? I'm like, talk me out of spending $80 on beard oil. I'm like, stop me right now, because I'm broke. I can't afford this product, but I'm going to do it. Talk me out of it. Yeah, and I've heard nothing. And that's what I really. So Abraham is an artist. He's actually an artist. I think he's a teacher. He's an art teacher, but he's that type of. That's what I really, really enjoy about small batch and the companies that I particularly kind of am drawn into. Is I like that artist mentality that goes into it. There's an art that goes into product labeling, product making. I mean, look at Miners. Miners has amazing labels, and they've had them for some time. Yeah. Their first original products had those like almost. I keep thinking of that tattoo balm that they have. But it always had that kind of really awesome labeling, and they've just keep upping their game. I saw the new Building America brands where they had the Carnegie and the Rockefeller. But that just keeps showing that the labeling is everything. If
you look at them, they have like layers to them, and you can see the detail on there, and like they have like different hidden elements inside of it. And Mike likes to do that. He likes to put the different little elements in it to try to get the most out of it that
you guys mind if I can. You guys mind if I show you something new I'm reviewing right now? Just because we're talking about the labels?
You bet.
All right, so here, check this out. This is a new company that I'm working with here, called cool. Voodoo Men's Craft. And as soon as he sent it to me, I was like, this is a cool, like, if I don't know anything else, it's got a cool presentation to it. So you're right. The labels and stuff like that, they do matter, especially when you're, clicking online and surfing to figure out what you're going to buy.
Yeah, I think if the owners of the companies care about their labels enough that they care about what goes into them too.
Yeah, you can make that same kind of, it definitely does matter. I don't care what anybody says. Presentation matters. I just believe it does. Yes, I know the product has to be amazing. It has to be. But presentation is pretty big, man, especially when you're trying to draw in new customers.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, I think if you take a look at one of the prime huge examples, and they're a big company getting bigger and bigger, is Fable. Colin's he's a wizard he really is the wizard with that stuff, and that's because he from day one started building that. I like his storylines. Have you guys ever? I don't know if any of you guys have purchased it, but most of us have. The storylines that go with each character, it's an amazing brand recognition and then he has, I love the story that goes with it. It's kind of like D&D type of stories, very cool.
Yeah, I actually posted about Fable. It actually got a lot of reactions not too long ago because I made a purchase from Fable. I made two. I got the Archer and what was the other one? The Gunfighter? Yeah, that was it. Okay. And I posted that I didn't like either of them. I wasn't trying to kill Colin. I was actually trying to give him a compliment. I said, neither one of the scents are for me, but that doesn't mean this isn't a good product. The product itself is amazing. The presentation and all that is fantastic. I got unlucky with my scent choices pretty much. kind of how this went down. And my point for the post was that just because a scent isn't for you doesn't mean the product's not amazing still. And he puts out an amazing product, period.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And there's other companies, you know, I think of another superior product, and I still go to him as Mike, Boston Mike. So Boston, he just has that beautiful skyline, and it is basic. And then just maybe something that says the name of but you still, when you get it, you're like,
there's something classic about it. Yeah,
it is. It's really good. The labels are really good because they're that. I guess they're oil-free labels or something that kind of wrap around it. Very good labeling, but it's basic. But it still has some really. I think it has that upper echelon type of feel to it when you see it.
It's got like a sophisticated look to it, almost. You know, like something you would see in like a high dollar store or something like that.
Simple with class.
You wouldn't know that it was a guy behind it who says more curse words than anybody you'll ever meet in life. But I love Boston Mike, though. I love Mike. I've always loved Mike.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a very good guy. He's. But that's an example of where the labeling really isn't that big of a thing. But his product is one of the best out there, and I don't. You know, it is amazing. I have been in love with Sinatra since I got it.
Oh my God, I can't. I love Sinatra so much, and it's my favorite butter. Period. His butter is my favorite butter right now. Period.
Yeah, it has a little bit of hold and a little bit of a lot of the hydration. Yeah.
Yes, it is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about Mike and his company.
Yep, I agree with you. Anybody else tried any newer companies that they're kind of recognize or trying to highlight? Voodoo sounds like a great one.
Has anybody heard of Gladiator?
You guys heard of that one?
When you posted it.
They're actually talking about
Outlaw Beard.
Yeah, I've seen those that one on Instagram too.
Outlaw Beard. Actually, Monday night at what the hell time was it? 10 o'clock. There we go. Monday night at 10. Me and Bearded Metal Chef will be doing a release party for his new scent with some giveaways and stuff like that. So it'll be on Instagram. We've been working with him, and Daryl, the owner, Chef's going to be so proud of me. I got his name right. Oh my God. I'm terrible with names. I got the name right. Chef's going to be so proud of me. We got to show him this afterwards. Okay. But Daryl, the owner, is an amazing dude. He really puts a lot of time and effort into developing his scents and his product. So if you get a chance, Outlaw Beard, go check him out. And it's a great company on the way up. I promise you.
Yeah. Talking about the, Building Americas on miners. The Morgan is dropping tonight, and then Morgan is dropping today for the Building America, and then at midnight they're releasing their fall scent. One of their fall scents, the Psycho Spice, is coming back after midnight for 24 hours.
Oh, that's good to know. Cool. So Tyson brings up Honest Ape. I have to say that I have not tried them yet. Have you guys tried them?
Oh my God, no, I haven't either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I haven't had the luck yet.
Yeah.
People told me there's like, everybody's doing this, reviewing this one, so do something different. So that's why I've kind of got distracted away from that part.
My brother has tried them. I have not yet.
And so that's the one, and I've heard nothing but amazing things about them. And there's just a couple of companies that I know everybody's done, and I've kind of steered away from them as a reviewer because I'm like, everybody's done them. I don't feel like I don't know if I add any more value by doing another review on that company. I mean, maybe, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I've been thinking big review, smaller, doing, kind of a hodgepodge where I at least do a couple smaller companies and then maybe doing a bigger one, in the middle of those, so that you kind of have that variety.
Right. You actually bring up a trend I kind of noticed for my channel, actually, was that when I did smaller, unknown companies, the videos had more views on them than when we did companies that were actually known, which was kind of telling me like, okay, like a Beard Octane. he doesn't need my review. Everybody knows
Yeah.
Beard Octane's a great company.
Right.
My review is not going to change that one way or the other. But like a Fox City, who we did recently that most people haven't heard of, everybody was like, whoa, wait a minute. That's a company. I've never heard of them. What do they got to say about them?
Right.
And it got a lot more attention. So you're right. It's almost like, you're like, yeah, I know I should be reviewing the big ones too, because I shouldn't be avoiding them, but the smaller companies are what is kind of going to get you more attention sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Companies, if you're late to the party, everybody already knows all the information, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I agree. I mean, it should be like a back and forth, seesaw kind of thing to balance it out, because me and Ryan, I think Mike from Last Looks, me and Ryan were like one of the first ones that he reached out to and got that out there, and then I've seen more and more of Last Looks being out there now.
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple Last Looks. I follow Ryan, of course, because
I got Last Looks on the way.
But yeah, so Last Looks, and then the Gladiator. The Sphinx is another interesting. I think you guys have all tried a little bit of Sphinx.
I like that Sphinx.
Not yet. Sphinx is supposed to be on the way to me, but it hasn't gotten here yet.
Yeah.
And Gladiator, I actually tried. If you go on my channel and go back like to when we first got started, Gladiator was one of the first ones we ever did.
what do you think of Gladiator?
The iconic scent is one of the most original scents I ever tried, and I've said that since forever.
Yeah,
It really is one of the most original scents. It is a fantastic scent. I haven't tried his butters. When we first worked with him, all he had was his balm and oil. That was it. And his oil felt very good in beard. It was a nice feeling. The scent was great. The balm was almost like a butter to me. So I was surprised to hear he actually made butters. I don't know if he changed up his balm formula a little bit maybe, so that's why he went to making butters as well. But I thought it was a good product.
His bombs to me are like a medium hold now, and his butters are like a full body butter.
Okay, so then he probably did change up the formula a little bit, because I'm telling you, the balm I have here, if I sent it over to you, you would tell me that it's more like a butter than it is a balm.
Right. But he's only got, the bombs and his other 2 cents. He's supposed to be coming out with the oil and butter for those here soon, I guess, next couple months. But
well, he's got that pack on Amazon now too, doesn't he? Like the 3-pack for, what is it, like $28 or something like that?
No, the 3-pack is $50.
Okay, I wasn't sure how much it was, but
his bombs come in 2.6 ounce tins.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you see the chat at all, Joe?
No, I can't see the chat. Why? What's going on?
Caleb said that he needs to get you some product. He said that he done got me loaded up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Marcus
You're gonna have to. Okay, hey man, I'm here, brother. Whatever you want to do, reach out to me on Instagram. We welcome anybody in. We review everybody, and we're all one big bearded nut shop family over here. So you're more than welcome, brother.
That's cool. That's the good thing about reviews, and I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to do this, because that's the biggest piece, is that this is a brotherhood. This is about that's kind of what drew me in, honestly, was the fact that you start getting on Instagram, you start getting kind of connected to maybe Dan and his lives, and then you start reaching into Instagram and seeing and meeting people. That it's been a hell of a ride, to be honest with you. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
It's funny too.
And it gets better every day. It gets better every day. I think that just great people. I've been really excited to meet you guys. This is an awesome live stream opportunity, so we'll keep doing this, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I actually need to thank the Beard World big time, especially Scuba over at BeardTube, because I was back in January of last year. I was in a hospital bed recovering from brain surgery, and Scuba and his videos helped me get through a lot of bored nights in a hospital bed where there was nothing on the damn TV, number one, okay? You think in this day and age we could figure out a way to get some real channels in a hospital. It's terrible. God awful. But then the Beard World gave me something to look forward to. I got excited. I was happy to be here. And then the companies just started opening their arms and working with me, and it really gave me something to dive into other than all the other crap I had going on. So I owe the Beard World a big thank you. Me and my whole family do, because it's helped me get through a lot of tough times recently.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's very true, though. Faithful.
Yep.
Definitely cool guys.
Oh, let's see what he. Oh, hang on. Here we go. I don't know if anybody can see that, but that should be on our stream.
Yeah.
So
I think sometimes with the bigger guys, people feel like they're just trying to push or sell the product versus maybe sometimes the smaller guys will give more in-depth or not necessarily trying to push products, if that makes sense.
When we reviewed Lux, he reached out and he was like, man, I love your review. And I was like, I didn't even know you were watching. I'm like, come on, man, you're Lux. Like you're a legend. I didn't know you were paying attention to us. But he watched the whole review and he was so happy with it. He was like, you just said that I turned Sunday into Black Fridays. I'm like, well, you did, dude. Like you did.
Well, it's just like we were talking about a little bit ago. You get that balance, where you try to, if we can, to try to get that lesser known, bigger, lesser known, bigger, have that kind of a balance situation. That's, a good way to try to do it.
Definitely checks and balances.
right. So Tyson's making another good point, of course. I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to meet Tyson. Tyson's a great guy.
I've had a few conversations with Tyson. He's an awesome dude. He really is.
Yeah, I had him on so I wanted to interview Adam from Barden. And he's like, nah, I don't do live interviews. And I said, who's a company that or a person or something that could help represent you? And he said, Tyson. And so I had him on my Barden interview. And we just went back and forth about Barden's products, of course, but Tyson honestly is a great guy. Also a Chiefs fan, so can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, like I've been really blessed with, all the beard community because they are like a family. And to me, I have issues with like depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. And I talk to these people daily, and I talk to all these people here daily, and I talk to companies daily because it just helps me get through everything and motivates me. And I've had people say that I'm inspiring, which I hope I am.
Absolutely,
and
for sure.
All I want to do is spread positivity through everything, and some awareness here and there because that's my main driving point.
Yeah.
I feel like Instagram is such like an underground community for us. Like you would never, like watching YouTube, you would never think, oh, okay, another product, until you go to Instagram, where everybody's communicating and this and that and getting to know people and like.
This is the only product-driven community where you're going to talk to most of the owners. Just because you like Calvin Klein jeans doesn't mean he's going to pick up the phone and call you. That's not going to happen.
Right.
In this community, though, it can happen, and it has happened, and it does happen all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Well, just like your Lux story, I've watched Lux on his Lux Lounge and I've never bought any product because I've always never been on the drop date. I always forget the Sunday. But that's amazing that you had the opportunity. He's a well-known dude, and you can have a conversation with Joe from Beard Octane's the same guy, same way. You just throw him a line. He'll give you some information, and you'll talk to him for a few minutes. It's nice. And I'll tell you, the king of, I don't know how he does it. I don't know when he sleeps, but Dan is the man for being able to contact you back and giving you great advice and being always to be there for you. And I think that he has that reputation. I don't know. He has like 15,000 YouTube followers now, and he still answers every single DM he gets. Yeah. Amazing guy. And I think Tyson's the same way. We all have, guys that we look up to, and they are so willing to talk to you. Scott's the same way. So Beard Times with Scott's another good dude. Brian from Beards and Banjos, another great guy.
Yeah, there's a few of them I haven't, like Scott. I haven't actually had a conversation with Scott yet, but everybody I've talked to about him, they all say the same thing. He's a good guy, always willing to talk to people, I just haven't actually reached out to him or tried to have a conversation with him yet.
There's just companies out there to try to reach out to, though. You just kind of, everybody's got like their few companies, I guess, that they talk to you?
Yeah, I know that I talk to about probably 5 or 6 on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Premium Sean, he's a really good friend of mine. He's from Cali, so we talk Cali.
If I stopped talking to Bam, my daughter would disown me. Like Sammy Cakes would get rid of me if I stopped talking to Bam, or Miners. Either one of those two. If I stopped talking to them, my daughter would be like, "Get out, Dad, just go."
That's awesome.
Your phone number then, or what? Since you're better than 5G.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's fun to be able to have those conversations and that camaraderie. And I think that just us reviewers, I mean, we've talked maybe 3 or 4 weeks now, and it's just been an awesome opportunity to just kind of chat and have the opportunity to always have somebody to talk to about whatever's going on, and especially when you don't feel like you're alone in this review game. You get standing in front of a microphone and a camera is one of the most shell-shocking experience you'll ever have. You especially the first few videos where you're just like, I'm the only person here in front of a camera, and it's going to go out to possibly 1 billion people if they ever see it. And I don't know how to separate. I don't know what to make myself. And then the first couple of videos, you're sitting. I have a couple of videos where I'm like, I shot that thing like 10 times.
Yeah, because you're so self-conscious and everything, and then you're like, man, I look so stupid, or sound so stupid, and and then especially like when you do your lives, like your first lives on Instagram or something, you're sitting there talking to yourself. You're like, what do I do here?
Well, I have a solution for your videos, right? Listen, just get a partner, right? See, I have my brother do my videos with me. That way, when he's like, how'd the video come out? I'm like, oh, man, I was great. You were terrible. But I saved us, so we're good. Don't worry about it, brother. I got this. So I found a way to feel great in my videos. I just make fun of my brother all the time, and I'm good. So
there you go.
It's like anything else, though. It's just practice and getting comfortable with it. The more you do it, the more you'll feel comfortable, and you do it,
Yeah.
I was nervous coming on here tonight.
Right.
I don't do a lot of lives and stuff like that on YouTube, and the lives I do, I mean, they've gone a little wonky at times. So I was definitely nervous about walking into this one tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like me and Zebra have kind of like helped each other with this whole, like, every week we do beard games, and it's really helped with us to kind of doing this live streams.
That comment was perfect from Tyson. The first minute on IG. Yeah, when you're just sitting there like, do I say something? Or it says it's inviting people in. Okay, please come in. I don't want to be talking to myself. Please come in.
Yeah. And that's why, like Chad said, me and him talked, and we have
there she is.
we have a show together, so we're not just talking to ourselves. So me and Chad can actually sit there and talk to each other and have other people interact with us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So I know you guys know that my son and my sister kind of have joined in because of that whole reason. I was just like, I hated standing in front by myself, just sitting here. So I got my son to start doing the unboxings with me, and he's funny. He's just like Sammy Cakes, just funny. I just let him roll. Like, I don't even have to, I try not to edit because he just keeps rolling with, I'll look at it later. I'm like, did he say that? That's some crazy stuff.
There's times where some of the stuff that flies out of her mouth, I'm like, man, did I just let her say that? Like, did I just allow that? How are they going to look at me as a parent right now? Like, wait a minute, forget the review stuff. Nobody's going to call like Dyfus on me for anything right now, right? Like, hold on. But you're right. It's all family fun. You're just having a good time. She loves doing it, so that makes it all the more better for me. Like, she's going to be 13, guys. I know I'm losing that soon. Real soon, it's going to be friends and phone calls, and I'm not going to matter all that much. But for now, I'm going to take it while I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 daughters that are grown up, and you will definitely lose them once they enter the middle school days.
Thanks for moment they hit, better, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the moment it happens, I love them. I have a really good relationship with them now. They come back. They do come back. I get a call from each one of my daughters once a day now. So they're 22 and 19. So I get a call from them every day. They think I actually have more wisdom than I ever have. So that's always, oh, Dad, you were right. I'm like, I know.
Yes, that's right. I was always right. You just didn't want to listen.
That's right. So, but they do come back after, teenage years. It's still, the teenage years are a little crazy, but especially with girls, because we as dads always are worried about who are you hanging out with? What are you doing?
Hey, don't tell me that. I got my 3-year-old little girl. That's all I worry about now.
Yeah, it's good times. I mean, I got through it. I definitely started growing a beard because of it, but
that's why there's gray in my beard right now. Like
exactly. But yeah, they do come back at the other side, and so so something that's going on in my life is my daughter is due any time now. So in the next, I think her due date is February 14th. So this will be number 4 grandchild for me. So
nice.
Yeah, exciting. So she's gonna have a little boy. So I'm excited this is the best part, and this is the hidden secret, guys. Being a grandparent is the best thing ever. You give them back. You spoil them rotten. You have a dirty diaper? Here you go.
What is that?
Mom.
What is that?
Oh, your mom's going to pick you up soon? Here's some candy real quick. Eat all that candy before you go home. Hurry up.
That's right.
What is the old saying? As they go along, it always comes back tenfold. Your children are always going to be 10 times worse than you. So it's like
that's exactly the truth. Yep, there you go. And let me give you the sugar to go with it.
Yep. You ever hear of Joe Cola? No, here, try that. There
you go. Yeah, good times. Well, guys, it is. My wife is waiting outside in the living room, waiting for me to get over, and my grandson is with me. So my grandson is waiting to go see Grandpa. So you guys, I have to get off, but you guys are more than willing to. I don't know if it stays on or what happens. I think I have to end it. But you guys could all join over to whoever else's live stream if you guys want. But my wife gives me that 1.5 look.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's right. Part of the whole reason why this even happens, because my wife goes, come on now. I had the second person tell me I look like a hobo. I said, maybe it's time to trim a little bit. Now I have my experience, but definitely it'll be a good experience to talk about and tell people, warn people, know your barber. Know your barber. Know who you are going to.
I trim now.
Yeah, talk to people and know, hey, who do you go to? Yeah.
I'm scared to death to even go to a barber. Never been to one.
For a couple of months before I even went to the barber that I go to for a trim.
Yeah, I have to. I think so. YouKnowBearded. I talked to Mink, or I think it was Mink.
I want to get Spencer to come give me a trim.
Yes,
Spencer. He seems like he knows what he's doing with the shape up tool. Like he seems like he knows I'll trust him with my beard. I don't know about anybody else right now, but I'll trust him.
We should all make a day with Dave from Beard Motivation.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. He knows his stuff. He's awesome. But yeah, YouKnowBearded is here in town, and they gave me a barber's name now. So I think I'm going to go hit that guy out. He's just up the road in Tempe. So I now have a guy that may work. So I'm going to take Mink's advice and go with it.
It's definitely been fun in here.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. You guys are, I really, really ultra appreciate the opportunity to be able to have a great talk. Mr. Bam is back, and then I got to take off. But I know you guys have another YouTube channel. If you guys want to join over there, and if you guys want to kind of, before we sign off, let's give some Instagram names, usernames, so that people who have just joined us or have seen us for the last 1.5 will be able to follow us.
Yep. MechBeard on Instagram.
Yeah, basically, YouKnowBearded Instagram and YouTube.
Yep.
I think I could
YouTube
type
channel
mine
as well.
out. It's bearded_zebra.
Awesome.
Yeah. Bearded Life 973 on Instagram, and yeah, you can come on over. I know you'll wind up staying. It's not for me. It's for Sammy Cakes, and that's fine. It's okay. We get it. I like her more than I like myself too, so it's fine.
Absolutely. Cool times. Good times. Well, thank you guys for coming on. One last shout out. Anybody got anything big going on this next week? I always ask the same question. Anybody thing big going on?
One thing, if you don't mind. January 25th on our YouTube channel, we will have a huge live community meet. It's Sammy Cake's idea. She runs the whole thing. We have 7 companies, 10 giveaways, okay? And it is the only place where you can get this oil, okay? There will be 3 limited ones of the Queen of Beards, and BAM will send them out to the winners, but this is the only time you'll be able to get it. That's it. It's January 25th at 9 p.m. on our YouTube channel.
Joe, what about that miners?
What?
What about the miners?
I haven't talked to Mike or Beth yet about when they're actually going to send that out to us or host it for the giveaways and stuff like that. So yes, Sammy Cakes does have a collab coming out with miners called the Dreamcatcher, but they haven't officially told me when we're doing what yet. So I'm still waiting on more news from them.
Right
on. My piece is that Morgan is dropping today from miners.
At midnight or now.
Yeah, they dropped Morgan now. At midnight, they're going to have a special release for the Psycho Spice for 24 hours at midnight. And then right now, they're also having the buy one get one free with the code free. And let's see, they're going to have the box set for the Miners Monopoly here pretty soon. And if y'all haven't heard of the Miners Monopoly, you can, when you order the Building America series, you get the game board, and then any purchase you make after that, you can get additional game pieces, and you can win a bunch of different stuff on there.
Yeah, right on.
$50 worth of prizes.
Yeah, $350 worth altogether.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right on.
And Ryan, what do you got going on?
Packing, man. Packing.
That's what I thought. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
I gotta load up all my beard stuff in boxes now. It's a sad day.
Ryan, man, maybe I'll meet you on Instagram later. We'll see how things go.
Yeah, it's a weekend.
It's always a good time, brother. Always a good time.
A lot of bubble wrap and duct tape.
Oh, it saddens me. Everything's.
Don't worry, brother. You'll be past it soon. No worries.
Hopefully it doesn't get lost somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Mech, what do you got going on, Mech?
To be honest, I got some stuff coming from Canada from this company called Woolly Wizard Beard Company, and I'm really stoked. The guy over there, he's a really awesome guy, and I'm
sorry.
Getting
Run that name one more time. I didn't really hear it.
Woolly Wizard Beard Co.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a hold of us on our live show.
That's cool.
Cool. Very cool.
That's really cool.
Definitely awesome to try out some Canadian stuff.
Yeah. Barden is another guy out there. Barden, try them out. I am
Ginger Beards.
Yeah, I've heard Ginger Beards too.
Yeah.
So I have finished Bartelli's, and then guess who I'm doing next? Little JOFM.
Nice.
You will not be disappointed, man. BAM makes some of the best products in the game, period.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try it. He hooked me up with some really good review stuff, so I'm really excited to be part of that.
Nice List is one of my favorite cologne scents out there, period.
Yeah, cool. Good to know. Well, thank you guys for coming on. And wherever you guys go, you guys will probably post on IG or wherever if you guys want to do some more live time with some with you guys. So have a great night, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Later.
Thank you for having us, brother. Seriously. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
Yeah, no problem.
See you guys.
Later, bud.